We're launching Microsoft Founders Club, and it is my pleasure to invite you to this series. We have the privilege of bringing together an incredible group of founders and senior leadership team members from Microsoft and other companies like LinkedIn and GitHub. We come together as a community to ideate around the emerging opportunities that generative AI is bringing up. We brainstorm around the agile build scenarios, as well as the skills and capabilities we need to stay relevant in today's economic dynamic. So join us and meet our founders.
Welcome to the next episode in our series, Meet the AI Founders. Today, we have Human Managed with us. We have Karen, who is CEO of Human Managed, and Saleem, who is the founder of Human Managed. In terms of the origin story of Human Managed, where did the idea behind the I.D.E.A framework come into place?
This opportunity came about end of 2018 when Saleem and I were just catching up for coffee in Singapore. Back then, he told me about this idea that he's been thinking about for over a decade, but finally he's ready to make the push. And he told me about this idea of using technology to empower human decisions. There's a lot of technology out there, but if you think about how humans make decisions, it hasn't changed all that much.
I would say it's a collection of stories. It's not just one origin story, but how all these stories came together. Right before I started the company, there was a point where I had to either continue my journey or do a reset to do something about it. I just had three very impactful events which happened in my life, which actually shaped the direction at which I was going. The first one was like how an opportunity was denied to me. And the second was how I missed an opportunity. And then the third one was how an opportunity was delayed. So these were decisions. Some of the decisions were made by me. Some of the decisions were like made by others. And some decisions were like made by a system or a policy which actually came together. So once this gets into your head, you start seeing the world from that point of view. All you see is exactly that. So every single time I'm looking at a decision, I'm saying like, oh, that's a missed opportunity. That's a delayed opportunity. That's a denied opportunity. So this created a huge frustration for me in terms of like, how do I actually fix it? Because this is just too complex. Then what I started seeing was there were a lot of people around me who were having exactly the same kind of stories. The problem was so big that the solution has to be as simple as that. So I wanted to build something using technology as a background. So the main idea was how can you actually eliminate the missed opportunity or the denied opportunity or the delayed opportunity. So this is all about like if you provide the right intelligence, then you are actually ensuring that an opportunity is not missed. If you are generating the right decisions, then an opportunity is not denied. And if you are generating the right actions, then an opportunity is not delayed. So that's basically how we came about. This was a solution, and we went from there and then like started building step by step.
But that solution, the I.D.E.A framework, I.D.E.A stands for Intelligence, Decisions, and Actions. We didn't know that was what we were going to set out to do.
Yes.
We spent, I think, the first year just thinking about the problem and simplifying the problem and finding different patterns in which it could be applied. And we always knew that when we look at an enterprise business and how they operate, we can put three domains of problems. One is in how they're managing risk as a business. The other is digital. How are they digitizing their business? And then in between those two, you always have to have in this new age, cybersecurity.
Yep.
So we knew that those three domains were the ones that we're going to work on, but we didn't know that the solution would be I.D.E.A. Yeah, this was a story that kind of wrote itself.
I mean, the story behind a good framework is definitely the number of iterations you go through it. So when you said that, it took an year to come up with that, it shows a kind of thought process that went into doing this. Technology software is an interesting space, right? Like while there's so many opportunities because there's so many areas where customers want to innovate, partners want to innovate, there's a lot of overlap as well, right? So when it comes to human managed in the market outside today, how do you differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace out there?
I'm going to catch on to the word that you said, software. So that's exactly what we don't do. We chose to solve the problems that we discussed in a not a software or tool-driven way, but from a service point of view. So we call ourselves service as a product business. And what we mean by that is the softwares and the tools out there, they're brilliant at what they do. They know they can solve a very specific problem. But where the problem occurs is, what do you do after those kind of softwares or tools generate the data? What do you do after? What kind of intelligence is relevant? What decisions do you need to take? What actions need to be executed? So we focus on the after what the tools and the softwares and these technologies produce the data. So that's how we differentiate in the market. And we really focus on what we call the day two problems, the day-to-day operations. These are very small nano problems that occur every single time. And we want to solve that.
That's really amazing. I still remember when you told me about the day two problems that you're looking to solve. That was my light bulb moment when I was working with you on the partnership. So it's amazing to hear how you got there in terms of your origin story. So Saleem, how does your technology roadmap look like for the service as a product offering?
So we deal a lot with data, and like we have built the infrastructure which can actually collect and process this data. So what we have right now is the data infrastructure. And we are building an AI infrastructure on top of that so that it serves the service infrastructure. So in this case, the AI infrastructure is where like we orchestrate most of the model, build AI native apps, and generate decisions, actions, as well as intelligence. And this is exactly where we will be focusing for our next 18 months. And this is where like we have all the different models, open source models, commercial models, AI apps, co-pilots is going to play a huge role in it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Saleem. It's amazing the kind of innovation we're working on together. And thank you for being a partner throughout this. So Karen, when we're talking about partnerships, we'd love to get your feedback on the Microsoft Founders Club and how do we continue supporting you on innovation and go-to-market?
Microsoft has been an incredible partner. We're just setting out on this journey, but we've been talking about how we can go to the market together, serve the enterprise businesses with ideas and service as a product, as well as look at get connected to a very rich network of fellow startups, as well as small to large enterprises. So we're very, very excited and grateful for this partnership.
So thank you, Karen. Thank you, Saleem, for being our partner. And thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching this. See you on the next episode.